Yo, what up, and welcome back to Pnoid News. Man, listen, so I'll be honest with you, right? I need to take a nap for work, and got way too much shit running through my brain right now, so I'm gonna let some of it out of here on stream so I can, lay my ass down and take my ass to fucking bed, right? So I wanted to stand here and talk about the California wildfires because I feel like this is something that, as a news channel back in the day, this is some stuff that we would have covered properly so everybody would have understood exactly what it is that was going on. So in California, right, there is some like crazy banana stuff going on right now, right? And this crazy banana stuff that's going on at the moment is, mass amounts of fires that happened, over the past, 2 or 3 weeks where we literally have, the majority of California just on fire, especially Southern California. This is the Golden Gate Bridge. Yeah, it looks like it goes directly to where it belongs going to, which is, directly into the seventh circle of fucking hell. And this is the Palisades right here that everybody's been talking about. I wanted to get into some of the numbers that, everybody's actually been talking about, right? As far as like what's going on with the budgets and all this type of stuff that everybody's saying words about, because there's a lot of things going on right now that people, are kind of not probably up to speed on, right? And or like, just taking one word from somebody else. So I did a bunch of the research onto what it is that, we should probably be looking at, right? So let's start this, right? Exactly where, right? Hang on, because I forgot to get the thing. California. Right. Let me grab all the stuff that's, highly important to know exactly what's going on. Numbers. Let's get the numbers, right? Because the numbers is what we want, right? By the numbers. Okay. All right. So now, contain. Got this popping off, right? Steve. Right. I'm gonna throw it right over here. I apologize. This is the first thing I did, but honest with you, times get caught up in my own brain thinking about some other type of stuff. You know what I mean? Right. So let me bring this down here. We're gonna make this right here. Come on. Stop. Right. This like this. Right. Okay. This is the Palisades fire. Started Tuesday at 10:30 a.m. southeast of Palisades Drive. Size 17,234 acres. Containment 0%. Injuries unspecified. Number of significant injuries of residents. Summary: the Palisades fire ignited quickly among high winds and dry brush and spread through neighborhoods filled with multi-million-dollar homes. Thousands of structures, including an unknown number of homes, have been burned. Evacuations, many parts of Pacific Palisades, Malibu, Santa Monica, and Calabasas are under evacuation orders or warnings. More than 13,000 structures are threatened. Shelters have been set up in the following places. Da, 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 da. Right. And and this is, what's going by the numbers, right? So there's the Eaton fire as well, you know what I'm saying, which started Tuesday near Altadena, Midwick Drives, in Altina near Eaton Canyon. Size 10,000 acres, 0% contained. The Hearst fire, 10% contained, 855 acres, Diamond Road, Silmar. The Sunset fire, 0% contained, 60 acres, Runyon Candy in the Hollywood Hills. Lydia fire, 2 p.m. Wednesday, 348 acres. Okay, so I want to thank Hannah Fry for, this is great information out of at the LA Times, man. Done. LA, I hear handling business, doing real journalism. Actually doing a fucking job. So, while all this was going on, they ended up running out of water in the fire hydrants. Which, this is California. I understand why, you would run out of water in the fire hydrants because California doesn't have any fucking water. You have 40 million people living in a place with no goddamn natural water supply. I don't know why they live there. I would not live in a place that, had 40 million people and there was no fucking water supply. but that's where these people choose to live, you know, because they're dumb. And everybody wanted to stand here and blame this mayor lady, right? Uh, and listen, what is this broad's name, man? Hey, Karen Bass. Karen Bass. Okay. So Karen Bass was a physician's assistant, and a community organizer and a social worker. She basically worked in the ER, right, as a doctor's assistant, which respect, you know what I mean? Great fucking career for a female. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. She has a bachelor's degree in physician's assistantry, right? She got elected in 2022 on a promise of, you know, what I mean, ending homelessness in Southern California. I mean, lofty ambitions, but respect again. You know what I mean? But, you know what I mean? Yeah, no. Okay, so it says here actions are not fulfilling a campaign promise. Bass declared a citywide city state of emergency on homelessness as her first act as mayor. By the end of her first year in office, Bass' administration reported that over 21,000 homeless people had been moved indoors. During her mayoral campaign, Bass said that she supported more housing in Los Angeles, but opposed changing zoning regulations so that denser housing would be allowed in neighborhoods that mandate single family housing. At the time, three-quarters of all residentially zoned land in Los Angeles was exclusively zoned for single family zoning. In June 2023, Bass signed an order to speed up processing for affordable housing units in Los Angeles. Later that year, he introduced a change that order that made affordable housing projects in single family neighborhoods ineligible for fast tracking. By one estimate, this reversal put 1,443 potential units of low income housing in legal limbo. In July 2024, she imposed further restrictions on affordable housing, making them ineligible for fast tracking in historical. Right, you know, is what it is. On September 9, 2022, Bass. This happened as she was running. Her home was burglarized and two firearms were stolen. By the way, base for being a firearms owner. In a public statement, Bass called the incident unnerving and something that too many Angelinos have faced. According to Bass, the firearms had been securely stored and no other valuables were taken from her home. As of September 14th, two suspects in the criminal investigation were detained. Blah, 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 and they're awaiting charge. Right. So, keep. Yeah, so, oh yeah, by the way, people are like, city for. Now, one of the big things that everybody was talking about was saying that these places, right, or this lady, she sat here and like restricted the amount of money they gave firefighters. So I kind of wanted to bring in, I mean, some real numbers about what's going on with the firefighters, California in particular, right? Well, first off, the firefighters in California make more than almost anywhere else in the country, right? Um, they are, you know, I mean, less of the population than everywhere else, right? Like, for instance, you know what I'm saying? Fucking in all of California, there's 27,750 firefighters. Employment per thousand jobs is 1.55% of the population, right? Or 1.55 for every thousand people. For everybody else, it's like 2.1. A lot of places, it's like 3, right? But they do make a ridiculous amount of money. They make 87,890. Remember, it's expensive to live out there. Don't judge them harshly. The amount of firefighters in Los Angeles, Long Beach, Anaheim, California, 5,990. Fucking employment per thousand jobs, 0.97, as opposed to places like Chicago where it's 5.7, or Boston where it's 3. You know what I mean? So as you can see, they actually have less firefighters per, I mean, thousand people, right? But I mean, the average wage in Southern California for a firefighter is one. Believe it or not, like when you look up this map, right, of where's it at? Yeah, you don't have one, you know, because all of us are volunteers. Like every firefighter in PA, right? You know, because they don't get paid. Not we. I'm not a firefighter, right? So the Los Angeles Fire Department is 1,206 uniforms, 53 dedicated, right? And I mean, I pulled that off the website. So I wanted to give you guys the budget number, All right, so y'all knew exactly what was going on. This here is 782.87 million in 2023. I went through and grabbed it year by year. So it was 2024 is 837 million, 819 million, 2025. And this is 2022, 746 million. So, I mean, it's basically up $80 million in 2022. And then another, you know, I mean, I think same, what was it? Same or more for 2020? 782 to 837. Right. I mean, they got 40 million more dollars. You know, I mean, all in all. Right. So, in the end of the day, like they actually didn't get a cut in firefighting spending. Right. What they did was is they just had less money for like training or for fucking training and procurement. Right. But they got more money completely. Like the whole thing got more money. So I mean, this is just what it is, right? So procurement, maintenance, and repair went down a little bit. I'm assuming like that's a need type of thing where it's like, hey, listen, you know, we're gonna need a new plane this year, right? So we're probably gonna need some extra cash allotted on this part of this, you know what I mean? And that's part of the budget or whatever it is, and that'll go up and down throughout the years as you need, you know, new motors or whatever, you know, certain types of maintenance for whatever fucking big fucking item that they need because firefighting equipment is not cheap, right? It's just not cheap at all, and it has a shelf life. You know, I mean, like all this stuff only lasts but so long. And you know, if you have things like wildfires, and you have, for instance, like a fire department that gets stuck in it, you know, what I mean, like, and it burns the fuck to the ground, or you have an earthquake, and like the firefighters, you know, what I mean, the fucking fire engine, just what are you gonna do? Like if it gets fucking swallowed up, or like a building falls on it, fuck, you got to buy a new fire truck. So like this shit's expensive. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Like these things are not fucking cheap. So I wanted to bring you guys all this information so you knew exactly what was going on about this. And by the way, I want you to understand that I have zero fucks to give about the Californians whatsoever. But like, it bothered me when we were having this conversation, and instead of like anybody doing any real journalism where you just go and you do the basic fucking research, right, and offer evidence, right? And this is why it is that I started my channel in the first place, is so you can go and do like actual research of how much money was being given out and like check and see whether or not they're lying. Nobody does this shit. So I figured I would do it for y'all so you guys could, you know what I mean, like know exactly what was popping off and what was going on out there. The truth is that they just don't have enough water. They should probably run some fucking piping to the fucking ocean and run them directly to run them to a pump house. You know what I mean? And then run that for the fucking hydrant system. I know it would rust shit. I get it. Like salt water is extremely corrosive. I get the mentality. But on the same level, way better, right? It's like, yo, way better than relying on like the fucking freshwater supply. You know, like you could even, you know what I mean, like run like a fucking big pool indoors, shoot the fucking shit in the air, which would help desalinate it, right? And then, you know what I mean, like recollect it and motherfucking throw it back through some fucking pipes and shit and fucking, you know, do these type of things. Would not be that difficult in the end of the day. Like a natural distillation process. Like it would be so much fucking easier than doing it this way. Right? Where like, you know, now you have a massive wildfire and you have people who need this fucking water, and you need, you know what I mean, like these resources, and they're just not there because you're relying upon the same water you drink out of. Like, it's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? I'm just keeping this all the way 100. Like, there's better ways to do this shit, and they're just not doing it because, like, I don't know, like, they're fucking stupid, and they're fucking stupid. You know what I mean? And that's just kind of where it is. Like, these places that grew very, very quickly, like, the population of Los Angeles grew in unbelievable clip. You know what I mean? Fucking, like, the past, like, years. Population of Los Angeles. Time. Yeah, so, okay. how fast this population. Boom, 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 boom. Right, like 19 population. Right, that is an unbelievable fucking population increase. You know what I'm saying? Like how fast this fucking place grew, and it didn't keep up. I mean, like the government did not keep up with it. Right, in the end of the day, this is kind of where we are. Right, you know, you have to be able to you grow your infrastructure as you grow your population. If your population grows that fucking fast, you can't put enough infrastructure in to make everything work. It just doesn't. It doesn't work that way. You know, and so this is kind of where they're at right now. You know what I mean? Like fucking they need to catch up and they don't have the ability because there's too many goddamn people and you know they're just it, everybody wants to live there and it's fucking paradise and nobody wants to pay any fucking taxes and every time you try to charge somebody taxes like they fucking leave. Right, just is what it is. You know, fucking this is just how this shit works and people are running around like stealing shit. Like this is welcome to America, son. You know what I mean? This is what happens when you have a colonial government. You know what I mean? When you have a nation state. You know, this is the entitled you know what I mean, fucking individualistic ideology of like Americans. Right? This is just how this operates. So, you know, I wanted to drop this on y'all. I hope y'all enjoy. I'm gonna go take a nap. Thank y'all for listening.